This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Richard, we'll start with the football news before we get into the basketball side of things. Jacolby Criswell expected to transfer according to several reports. What did you make of maybe the news that broke yesterday in regards to one of Arkansas's backup quarterbacks?
Well, I think, after the spring that Taylen Green had, I think you kind of know the pecking order, and Jacolby obviously has been patient trying to get on the field, North Carolina and Arkansas, so it's not that surprising. All I can say, he's one of the finest young men I've come across, and I wish him the best. I really do. I mean, if you have an opportunity to just talk to him for a few minutes, you're a fan of him.
Also, Isaiah Gustav, the other name. This happened relatively quick after the spring game. I chalked it up to maybe him being the third or fourth string back. Can you give us any insight on why you maybe think he is elected to enter the transfer portal?
Well, that I really haven't been able to, with basketball and everything going on, really haven't dived into it, but I wouldn't shock me that he might be going to TCU, but at the same time, I don't know that for sure. Obviously, Jimmy Smith recruited him, and you look at the roster of running backs. It's pretty impressive, pretty deep. So again, he might be wanting to be the guy, and right now, doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
Yeah. Any other players you're expecting to read a note from or a social media post soon that you think will be leaving the football team and headed to the portal?
Man, I'm going to tell you, there's not a lot of guys that I've thought that, this is a guy that I know for sure that would leave. I think I don't have a great answer for you, to be honest with you. I thought that the guys that left after the season kind of were the guys that you kind of thought that they may leave, but there's always a surprise. You just if you're Coach Pittman and staff, obviously you don't want a guy that's a big contributor. You're expecting to be a big contributor next fall. So with NIL and just everything the way college football and college athletics is set up right now, nothing is shocking.
Yeah. So after you got to see the game the practice, the scrimmage on Saturday, any area that jumps out to you that, hey, I expect Arkansas to be active in the portal in these areas of the team?
I think obviously they hosted Branson Hickman, the offensive lineman from SMU, earlier this spring, and he should be making a decision, I think, next Monday. I think if they get him, and they may try to get an offensive tackle, then I think you do need to try to maybe get another inside guy on the other side of the line of scrimmage, one or two of those guys, and continue to add depth there, and hopefully get a difference maker. And I think linebacker may be another position. But, at the same time, if you see a guy that you think could make a difference, at any position, even though you feel pretty good about that particular position, you go for it. So, I think those are the three that would stand out to me. But at the same time, a can't-miss type guy, you go ahead and take.
Richard Davenport with us on the McCarty Daniel Hotline, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Artie, I think people have a misconception about the portal. It officially opens today, so everyone, with the exception, I guess grad transfers don't apply here, but a lot of the guys that are undergrads have planned to enter today, but officially they can actually enter today, correct?
Correct.
And then to go off that, how do you mentioned what maybe some plans this week. I mean, you got basketball, you got football to keep up with. Who do you think is going to be more active in this? Is it upcoming cycle? Is it Cal or Pittman?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Cal. I mean, he's got 12 more spots to fill, and it's going to be interesting. It really is, because he is without a doubt the most successful coach in college basketball as far as recruiting high level talent. And when he makes that call to somebody and he's interested, it's kind of hard not to take a look at him because of all the NBA guys that he sent to the league. I mean, all the guys that he sent to the league. So I just tend to think that he's gonna have a busy few weeks and maybe go beyond that. But at the same time, I think because of his resume, these 12 spots may be filled a little quicker than what most other schools would fill up 12 spots. But obviously we don't know that for sure. So time will tell. But I tend to think that we're going to be seeing a lot of activity with Coach Cal and visits.
Richard, you saw the activity yesterday with Big Z committing to this Arkansas basketball program. If I had
what's that first name?
Say it one more time, Christian. Zvonimir
Ivisic.
Zvonimir Ivisic.
I just had to do that, man. I'm calling him Big Z too.
I'm like Cal. I got to call him Big Z. But that was the first domino to fall for this. If I set the over/under at 7 Kentucky former players and former commits. 4 guys have decommitted of their 6-person class already. Still waiting on the fence about 1 guy. I think a Kentucky kid's going to ultimately stay. But if I set the over/under at 7, it's already down to 6 for Arkansas. Does Cal go over Kentucky commits and former players that join him in Fayetteville?
Well, that's a good question. I've been thinking about that too. I mean, I was thinking the signees, most of them follow him, and then 3 or 4 guys from the portal, or 2 guys or whatever from the portal join him, and then because I've been thinking, boy, it's much easier. Say if you have 7, and then you only have 6 more spots, and then obviously you got to do that with the portal, unless there's some late, 24 guys that you could get on. So I think that's a good that's a good number, and I think Saracen or Ocon or whoever should consult with you, because I think that would get a lot of action.
I just here's my math on this. So you got 1 in Big Z, who's already committed. Carter Knox has Chicken Man in his bio, so I'm going to count him as 2. Boogie Fland, I think there's a good chance that's 3. Then you got Jaden Quintance, or Quintance, however you say his name, who has already got out his national letter of intent. That's 4 to me. Then you've got a couple other guys that, probably 3 or 4 guys that I'm thinking, I could definitely see them coming to Fayetteville and joining him. You're not going to get Dillingham. He's going to go to the draft. You're not going to get Reed Shepherd, but I really do think that is an accurate number, or at least close. That could get some action both ways. And last thing, Richard, and maybe you don't have his but he was just at the Nike Hoop Summit. Is he on the recruiting trail? Is he going back to Lexington to move? Any idea where Cal is right now?
Well, from what I gather, he arrived back in Fayetteville Sunday. Now, has he been, has he left since then? I don't know. I tend to think he's probably still in Fayetteville, and they're probably lining up visits, and so I don't have a great answer for you on that, but I tend to think he's still in Fayetteville, but I don't know for sure.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.